Lionel Messi won the World Cup in 2022. That sentence feels like it breaks the rule before the video even starts. But look closer. Messi spent 15 years trying. 15 years of being the best player on the planet and not winning the one thing that defines football greatness. He failed in 2006, 2010, 2014, and 2018 before finally winning in 2022 at 35 years old, in what everyone knew was his last real chance. That is not the story of the best player winning. That is the story of the best player finally escaping a curse that follows every generation. The curse has a pattern. Ronaldo never won it. Zidane won it once, but was not the best player in that tournament. Romario, Ronaldinho, Neymar, Salah, Lewandowski, De Bruyne, all generational talents, all without a World Cup winner's medal. This is not coincidence. This is structure. Here is why it happens. The World Cup is not a league. In a league, the best team wins because they play 38 matches and the quality levels out over time. The World Cup is 7 matches across a month. 7 matches where one bad day ends everything. One injury in the wrong minute, one referee decision, one penalty that hits the post instead of the net. The best player in the world cannot control any of those things. Club football rewards consistency. International football punishes single moments of failure. Those are two completely different games wearing the same shirt. There is also the team problem. The best player in the world plays for the best club in the world. At club level, the 11 players around him are also world class. At international level, the 11 players around him are the best his country can produce. That is not the same thing. Neymar spent his entire peak at Barcelona and PSG surrounded by players who made him better. At international level, he carried Brazil almost entirely alone. The weight of an entire nation on one player changes what that player can do. You cannot dribble through pressure you are also carrying. Then there's the psychological trap. When you are the best player in the world at a World Cup, every opponent prepares specifically for you. Entire defensive systems are built around stopping one person. The underdog nation that has no chance of winning the tournament can still succeed if they neutralize you. Stopping the best player is its own kind of victory for a smaller team, and smaller teams are very good at playing for that specific victory. The player who actually wins the World Cup is almost never the best player in the world at that moment. It is the best player of that tournament. The player who peaks at exactly the right time in exactly the right month. Luka Modric was not the best player in the world in 2018. He was the best player of that World Cup. Kylian Mbappe was not the best player in the world in 2018. He was the best player of that World Cup. Those are not the same thing. Being the best in the world means you have already peaked. Tournament football rewards players who are peaking right now, in this specific moment, on this specific pitch. Look at every World Cup winner since 1990. Germany 2014 had no single superstar. They had a system. Spain 2010 had no striker who could consistently score. They had a philosophy. France 1998 had Zidane, but he was suspended for 2 group stage matches and still won. The team carried the individual until the individual was ready to carry the team in the final. That is the formula. The best player does not win the World Cup. The best team with one player who rises at the right moment does. So what does that mean for this World Cup? Vinicius Junior is arguably the best player on the planet right now. Mbappe is the most dangerous. Bellingham is the most complete. All 3 are walking into the exact same trap that has swallowed every generation before them. The pressure, the specific preparation from opponents, the reliance of their nations on one person, the brutal knockout format where one moment ends everything. One of them might escape it. Most will not, because the World Cup does not reward being the best. It rewards surviving the worst. And those two things almost never belong to the same player at the same time. The game has not changed. You have. You're welcome.